Canada, the land of polite apologies and breathtaking scenery. You'll be greeted with open arms and a friendly smile. Just be sure to pack a good camera. But don't let the maple syrup fool you. Even with its reputation for safety, Canada still has some sketchy spots. You might think you know which cities to avoid, but surprise. The danger is hiding in unexpected places. So hold onto your hockey stick, because we're about to explore the dark alleys of Canada's supposedly safe cities. Vancouver, the coastal city where even the pickpocket syndicates have a higher success rate than the local hockey team. It's the largest city in Western Canada. But don't let its size fool you, Vancouver has a dark side. In fact, the city reported the highest increase in homicides countrywide, which is quite an accomplishment. Vancouver had the second highest number of firearm-related homicides or gang-related homicides in 2021. So if you're looking for a place to start a gang or get shot by one, Vancouver is the place to be. But it's not just murder that makes Vancouver exciting. The city also boasts a wide range of dangerous crimes, from petty theft to vandalism. So, if you're planning a trip to Vancouver, make sure to keep your valuables close and your hockey sticks closer. Greater Sudbury, the shining gem of northern Ontario. The city is famous for its rich mineral deposits and booming mining industry, but now sexual assault crime seems taking its place. But that's not all. The homicide rate in Greater Sudbury has hit a record high with 12 murders in 2022. Looks like the criminals in this city are digging for more than just precious metals. And don't forget about the gangs. They're always causing trouble and accounting for a whopping 23% of all homicides. It's like the city is just one big, Wild West showdown. But wait, there's more. The drug problem in Greater Sudbury is out of control. Police recently seized over $500,000 worth of cocaine and fentanyl. And with a skyrocketing number of overdose deaths, it's clear that the city's drug problem is more explosive than a stick of dynamite in a mine. All in all, Greater Sudbury is a city with plenty of excitement and adventure if you're into sexual assault, murder, and drugs. Look who's topping the charts again. It's none other than Edmonton, the crime capital of Alberta. With high rates of violent crime, it's no surprise that the cops are constantly on their toes. And when it comes to sexual assault, Edmonton is giving Canada a run for its money, with the highest rate of reported cases since the 90s. Seems like some people in Edmonton just can't keep their hands to themselves. Speaking of drugs, Edmonton's recent drug busts have been more successful than a Kanye West album. The cops found over $1 million worth of fentanyl and methamphetamine. Talk about a party in Edmonton. And let's not forget about the CSI score, which at 97.5 is making the rest of the country green with envy. At this rate, Edmonton might just become the new Sin City. Thunder Bay, or Crime Thunder Bay, the city that never sleeps, unless you count passing out from crystal meth as sleeping. This Ontario gem, nestled on the north shore of Lake Superior, has a lot to offer. But watch out, folks, because Thunder Bay is also known for its high crime rate. In fact, they've got the second highest homicide rate in the country. And it's not just murder, they've also seen an uptick in robbery, drugs and human trafficking and sexual assault. Oh, and let's not forget about their previous title as Canada's hate crime capital. Indigenous people always complain about a worsening climate of racism and violence in the city. And who could forget their high death rate from opioid overdoses? Don't worry though, in 2022, Thunder Bay police seized 5.2 kilograms and made biggest crystal meth bust in city's history. Saskatoon, city in Saskatchewan, situated along the South Saskatchewan River, has a population of over 300,000 people, and apparently a knack for getting into trouble. Sexual violations against children, theft, and robbery have been on the rise in Saskatoon lately. The city has seen a disturbing increase in violent crimes, with homicides and shootings leading the way. Saskatoon had 13 homicides in 2022, compared to just 7 in 2021. Talk about doubling down. The underlying factors in homicides were mental health issues, domestic violence, gun violence, and knife or other weapon involved. It seems like Saskatoon is so caught up in all this chaos that investigators are having a hard time making headway due to a lack of security cameras, slow forensic lab results, and uncooperative witnesses. Breaking and entering has become a bit of a favorite pastime in Saskatoon, with the number of cases continuing to rise. And if that's not bad enough, 2022 was another record-breaking year, but not in a good way. There were 421 drug toxicity deaths in the province, compared to just 401 in 2021. Police seized a substantial amount of drugs, including 20 kilograms of methamphetamine, 700 plus oxycodone pills, 8 kilograms cannabis, and guns. It looks like Saskatoon is the bad boy that just can't stay out of trouble. Regina, the southern belle of Saskatchewan, has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Homicides, break-ins, and gang-related crimes are all on the rise in this sleepy Canadian town. The residents of Regina are feeling the heat as crime rates continue to soar. With 15 homicides reported last year, it's no surprise that Regina has the highest gang-related homicide rate in the country. But it's not all bad news for Regina. The city boasts one of the largest urban parks in North America, Wascana Center, which is the perfect place to hide from the crime-ridden streets. Unfortunately, many residents are turning to drugs and guns to cope with the growing sense of unease. Fentanyl and meth have become a daily staple in Regina, with over thousands grams seized in drug trafficking arrests. Drug overdose is also a major problem in Regina, with over 100 cases reported each month. Welcome to Moncton, the drug trafficking capital of southeastern New Brunswick. With a high rate of addiction and a bustling drug trade, Moncton has become a one-stop shop for all your illicit substance needs. And with over 70% of people on the streets struggling with addiction and mental health issues, it's no surprise that breaking and entering and sexual assault cases are on the rise. But wait, there's more. The city is also experiencing a spike in homicides, which is a real bummer. But don't worry, folks, we just need to address the root causes of violence, like lack of affordable housing, education, and mental health support. And if you're looking for a little excitement, head down to downtown Moncton, where you can witness the latest spike in drug overdoses. With extremely dangerous and lethal drugs in circulation, you never know when you might witness 9 overdoses in just 24 hours. Winnipeg. The capital city of Manitoba, also known as the murder capital of Canada. With a population of over 700,000 people, Winnipeg is the perfect place for thrill seekers and adrenaline junkies looking for a deadly adventure. In fact, Winnipeg ranks third in the highest homicide rates, following Regina and Thunder Bay. The diverse population of Winnipeg means it is also a leader in hate crimes, making it a one-stop shop for all types of criminal activity. The recent spike in homicides, with a record-breaking 51 killings in 2022, is simply part of the city's growing violent crime trend. And let's not forget that 70% of these homicides occurred in economically disadvantaged areas where people are just trying to survive. Even Indigenous women aren't safe in Winnipeg, with nearly 1/5 of the cases involving their murder. Of course, it's not just a law enforcement issue. It's time to address the root causes of crime, like a lack of economic prosperity and marginalization. And let's not forget about the gang problem that is driving much of the violence in the city. Winnipeg is now a hub for heroin, thanks to the fentanyl crisis. Recently, police even seized $3.4 million worth of heroin and opium hidden in rugs. Who knew Winnipeg was such a hot spot for deadly fun? Kelowna, the jewel of the Okanagan Valley, where the beauty of the outdoors is only matched by the criminal activity in the streets. With over 140,000 residents, you'd think they'd have enough eyes on the lookout for the increasing property crimes. But sadly, even tourists can't escape the clutches of the thieving thieves and other ne'er-do-wells. The rise in violent crime is truly alarming, and it's high time the city invests in mental health and addiction programs to address the root causes of criminal behavior. In fact, crime was the main topic of the Kelowna election. But wait, there's more. Kelowna's cost of living is through the roof, making it nearly impossible for poor and unemployed residents to make ends meet. And the crime is everywhere here. Theft, vandalism, and now even child pornography, shoplifting, mischief, and fraud. And let's not forget about the opioid-related offenses. Kelowna may be chasing Lethbridge's #1 spot, but they're still a close second. So grab your hiking boots and pepper spray, because Kelowna's got it all. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're talking about Lethbridge, the scenic river valley city that's so dangerous, even the tumbleweeds are packing heat. With a population of over 100,000 people, you'd think the streets would be safe as houses. But with a CSI score of 128, city has earned the dubious honor of being Canada's most dangerous city. The rise in violent crime is not only unacceptable but also quite concerning. And property crimes. They're as common as maple syrup in Canada. Business owners and residents are pulling their hair out over the never-ending property crimes. But wait, there's more. The poverty, unemployment, and mental illness rates are sky-high in Lethbridge, making it a tough place to make ends meet. The cherry on top. Let's not forget about the drug addiction crisis that's been plaguing Lethbridge for years, leading to record amounts of drugs and cash seized recently, over $1 million worth, to be exact. Meth, fentanyl, and cocaine, oh my. Looks like the ongoing opioid crisis is alive and well in Lethbridge. So buckle up, folks, and keep your eyes peeled for trouble. In Lethbridge, danger is just around the corner. Thanks for visiting our channel. We invest considerable effort and dedication in researching, producing, and presenting content that we believe you'll love. Kindly consider subscribing to our channel to receive early access to our newest videos and updates, and to support us in creating even more exceptional content for you.